it's Olivia from Girlybunches, and in this week's video I'm going to be showing you this lovely stitch, and it's called a crossed treble stitch because these are treble stitches. You may know them as double crochets, so you might know this as a crossed double crochet stitch depending on what side of the pond you have learnt to crochet on. I got very excited making this video, and I actually tried it using a double treble, so you can actually see that more clearly, that the stitches cross over each other, and personally I actually prefer this one. The principle is the same, but I will be putting a post on my blog on how I did this one, but it's exactly the same way as this one, but just a few more stitches on the base chain. So same principle for how I filmed it. So yes, there you go. If you're looking for a textured stitch with a bit of difference, if I hold it like that, you can really see that it's got great texture to it, and it's on both sides. So yeah, I'll get on and show you how I did this. So for our base chain, we need to have a number of stitches that is divisible by 2. If you had a certain number of stitches that you wanted to work across, say you knew that you wanted exactly 10, you would then need to add another 2 stitches to that base number of chains. So I'm often asked how many chains you'll need to start off a project. Well, it really depends on how wide you want your project to be. So if you are making a blanket, then you can either make a chain that is the full length of chains that you will need. So you would measure it up against what you need it to be. So if it was a cushion cover you're trying to cover, a cushion you're trying to cover, then you would make that number of chains and just keep going until it covered that item. Or what you could do is just do a quick little sample and work out how many stitches you need to make a certain width, so say an inch for example, and then you will know how many stitches you need to go into to make that total width of the project that you're looking for. So in this case we need a multiple of 2, and I've got 16 stitches here. So what we're going to do is we're going to skip the first 3 stitches because that's going to become a replacement treble, which you may know as a double crochet, but I'm British so I call it a treble. And then we're going to start working this crisscross stitch. So those 3 are going to become a treble. Then you want to skip the next one, that's the 4th, and work into the 5th one along. And into that 5th one we're just going to do a simple treble, like so. And this first part is the most trickiest part, as always. Now what we need to do is we need to work into that 4th stitch. So we've worked into the 5th one, and now we're going to work, I'm having trouble saying work, work into that 4th stitch. So we're going to do a treble, but we're going to put the hook now behind the treble we've just worked in, and then we're going to work that 4th stitch like we normally would. So put the hook through like you normally would the chain, but this time it's going behind that first treble we did, and then you just work that stitch as normal. So like I say, that first one is always a bit fiddly. So now what we're going to do is we're going to repeat that process into the next 2 stitches along. So not going to work into that one there, we're going to skip one. So skip one and then work into that second one along. So just do the normal treble, like so, and then we're going to work back into that one that we've just skipped. So yarn over, put your hook behind that treble, and then work into that chain like you normally would. Okay, so you can just see now we're starting to get that crisscrossness, as it were. If I just turn it around to the back, it looks, so the stitches are always going to be coming outwards, and then you've got one going behind. So front and then one behind which goes backwards. So again, skip the next one along, and into that second one along just do your normal treble, and then put yarn over and then put the hook round the back and work into that treble like you would, but instead of coming through the normal angle you're coming coming downwards because you're working around the back of that treble that you've just done. So, and you keep going until you get to the end, and then what you'll have is one stitch left, and into that last chain there we're just going to do one treble. Like so. Okay, so the second row we're just going to do one chain, turn the work around, and then we're into that same space we're just going to do a double. So you may know that as a single, but I call that a double because I'm British and I'm using British terminology. But then into the rest of the stitches I'm just going to do that double all the way across until I get to the end. And then I'm just going to do my one double crochet into the top of that third chain that we missed to make our treble, and that's our second row done. And then I'm going to chain 3 to be a replacement treble, turn my work around, and then continue doing exactly the same thing. So I'm not going to work into that stitch there, I'm going to work into that second one along, and then do my treble into that first one that we skipped. And as you can see, doing that third row is a lot easier. And then again, skip one into the second one along, do a treble, and then do your treble going back into the one that we just skipped. And you start to get this very pretty crisscross pattern. And then the last stitch we're just going to do a treble just to finish off that third row, and then you just repeat the second row and the first row, and you just keep going until you've finished your project. So if I just show you that kind of on the side there, you can see that it gives you this nice texture. So what I was thinking while I was playing around with this stitch is that you could probably do this with double trebles and triple trebles and you'd get a different effect. So what I'm going to do is just try a couple of samples doing the same thing and yeah, see what that looks like. So yeah, there we go. I just tried that using a double treble, you know, the magic of television and all that. So this is the treble version that I've just done, and then this is the double treble version. So as you can see, there's 3 rows there's 3 rows of the crisscross. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows altogether. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As you can see, there's a height difference, so 5 rows of the treble is roughly the same as 1, 2, 3, 4 rows of the double treble version. Both of them I absolutely love, I have to admit. I think they look fab. And I was also thinking that you could probably do a chain. If I can get this to focus, why won't you focus? There we go. You know, you could do a chain and then weave that in. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and my little experiments. I would love a thumbs up, and why not subscribe? Click that subscribe button down below, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye. Hi everyone, it's Olivia from Girlybunches, and in this week's video I'm going to be showing you how I did this simple textured hexagon motif. So